In this video, we'll show how to view and filter retiree insurance plans of MyTRS under insurance rates. It is important to note that there are written instructions for this process available as well on our employer site under online training and guides. Go to the employer site, click on online training and guides. You'll get this particular website up. You'll see these are the videos are at the top. We have some other written materials, and then down the bottom we have a guide for active employer reporting, as well as the retiree insurance processing guide. So for viewing and filtering different plans of MyTRS for the insurance rates, we're going to start at the home page, and in the left navigation window, we're going to click insurance rates. Once the screen refreshes, we'll have all the different plans that our employer offers. Now, depending on the size of your employer and how many plans they have, you may have some different options that you'd like to exercise. So for instance, you may want to go page by page using the arrows in the bottom right hand corner. You'll see that on different screens, there are different grids, and sometimes you can sort by only some columns like you can in the view rates, but you'll see under add rates and edit rates that those options will vary a little bit. You'll also see the same thing to be true for the filter menu. So on this screen under view rates, you can pick by coverage type, you can pick the particular plan, but if you pick medics, you'll see that it shows up twice, and that's because one is first medical and the other one's second medical. But you might be thinking to yourself, well, if I'm going to be filtering to go in and add rates or change them or what have you, you might want to see them all together. So we'll show you what they look like on the other screens too, as you might find them more advantageous. If you want to click on any of the columns that have sorting options, you'll see that they're indicated by the little indicator on the right showing sort of a staircase looking character. And if you click on them, quite simply, you'll see that that sorts them. And when you do, you'll see that there's this bubble that appears. And this bubble will tell you whether or not you've sorted it, whether or not you've got a filter applied. Sometimes we'll call it a filter bubble, and sometimes we'll call it a filter pill, because it's sort of a pill-like shape. If you click the little X that's in it, it will remove the filtering and it'll go back to the default view. In the filter itself, you can also see sort options, which are below the filtering options. So again, you can do it from here as well, and it will only give you the options that the same columns would have in the screen. If you were in, say, the edit rates view, wait for that to come up. And again, here you can see you can sort by every single column. So for instance, if you were adding your plans in and you wanted to add in your plans for medics, if you were to filter on this screen and then you choose plan, we're going to choose medics here, you'll see that it checks it off automatically. And if we hit apply, when you're doing edit rates, you're actually able to view the medics in first and second medical together. Now, one important thing that I can't say enough is when you're going into edit, that's, in theory, you're fixing a price here. You're not adding a new price plan. And if you're adding a new price plan, you want to make sure you're going into add rates, and we have a different video for that. So please watch that video before you try to make any changes. This one is just to simply walk you through some of the options for viewing and filtering. One last thing to mention here is you might think to yourself, well, I'd really like to pull a list and do some organization before I make any changes in MyTRS. One of the options we give you is to export all your plans to Excel. So if I choose export in the top right hand corner, and then depending on your browser settings, if you're using Edge or you might be using Google Chrome, which might have a different option, or Firefox, the options might be a little different. So in our Edge browser that we have set up here, it shows up in the top right hand corner. I choose open file, and because it defaults to CSV and my CSV option is Excel, it's going to open up in Excel for me. And what's nice about this is if you're doing some organizing, maybe you're checking your rates for the first time, you're taking over for a school district or something, this is a great way to be able to pull your rates out. You can sort them, you can look historically through them, highlight whatever you'd like to do, and then that way you can organize yourself before you're going in and make any changes. So I hope you found this helpful, and thanks again for watching.